Hey, welcome back. We're going to be looking at the user interface today in lesson 7. And we're not going to be continuing with that little cold project. That was too cold for me. We are here in Florida. It is nice and warm, and coldness really gets to us. But we did that lesson because we had a couple nights ago we had 30-degree temperatures. It's very cold in Britain. All right. Anyway, what we just need is a couple of pictures to use. We're going to use a cloudy sunset. So if you would just like to take yourself to Google, type in cloudy sunset, and we'll do a little image search, and we'll just grab a couple of cloudy sunsets. Okay, there's one. Oh, this is the Pinterest one. Yeah, don't bother with Pinterest. Try again. We just need photo bucket. Yeah, don't bother with photo bucket. They don't like you taking their images. Okay, let's see what this one is. All right, this one's not going to bother us. Okay, so we got that nice image. Let's save it to our computer. We'll call it, cloudy sunset. Cool. And let's just grab a second one, just in case we need it. Right click, save image as cloudy sunset 1. Very cool. Now, let's go back to Photoshop. And we're just going to open those pictures. Oh, something I want to, we're going to use a little piece of software called Bridge. And Bridge lets you look at all the things that you're going to open in the format that they exist in. Let me explain that to you. For example, if I go to File, Open, and I want to open a Photoshop document. Now I can't find a Photoshop document. There it is. When you look up a Photoshop document in Windows, Windows doesn't know how to show it. Okay, so notice like here's our downhill skier project. It says PS Photoshop document. It doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know how to show it because Windows doesn't understand this PSD extension, which is the Photoshop document. Now, what's cool is there's this piece of software called Bridge. So if we go here to not type in, but click Browse in Bridge, we can now go and look up everything in all of these different formats. Take a look over here. If we just want to look at Photoshop documents, we just click on Photoshop document, and you can see here are my various Photoshop documents on my computer. Look at this. It's got PowerPoint documents. It's got all kinds of cool things in here. So this is a neat way to preview what you have. But let's go to JPEG, and let's see if we can find those cloudy sunsets we downloaded. There's one. We'll open that up. And then just for good measure, let's open up a second one. Okay, cool. So you can see up here we've got one here, and we've got two there, or one there. Okay, very cool. Now, we're just going to take a little look-see at our user interface because it's important to understand the user interface. Now, the Tools panel is very important. That is this thing over here that has all of our cool tools in it. It's kind of divided up into 4 sections. We've got the first section is for selecting, cropping, and measuring. You've got your Move tool. You've got your Marquee tool, which is used for selecting, which gives you your little marching ants. You've got your lasso ones. You've got your 3 different lassos. What do we have here? This is our quick selection tool and our magic wand. Love those things. Here is your crop tool. And then we have your color picker, rulers, a whole bunch of cool things in there. Okay, so that's your first set of tools. The next set of tools are for retouching and painting. You've got your Band-Aid, your healing tool, stuff like that, red eye, cool things like that. You've got your paintbrush and pencil and stuff. There's the clone stamp tool. That's a neat tool. That's really fun to use. The next one down is your history brushes. Then we've got your eraser. We've got your gradient and paint bucket tool for filling things. We've got the blur, the sharpen, the smudge, and finally we've got the dodge, burn, and the sponge tool. Okay, for those are retouching your pictures. Next we have our drawing tools, and the first one is the pen, and this has to do with all the different things you can do with the pen to create these vector images. We've got the type tool, which is for putting in letters, typing, etc. You've got your path selection tool, which we used in the last lesson briefly, and you've got your vector shapes, your rectangles and blah blah blah, and then your custom shapes. Those are fun. Okay. The next set of tools are for navigating. This is the hand tool. Okay, that just moves things around. And you've got your zoom tool for zooming in and out. Finally, we've got the foreground and background and quick mask. Okay, section here where you're coloring. You're choosing the foreground color, the background color. There's a quick mask mode, and there's a screen mode right there. Cool. Okay, we'll be getting into all those things in much more detail. But for now, and now these things move around too. So there's a little double arrow up here. Do you see that little double arrow? If I click that, I can make this like a double bar, and if I click it back, it can go back to a single. I can also, if you see the little mark there, I can grab this and I can move it, put it somewhere else. Some of my students I've seen, they like to have it over here. And when you get that blue line, it just fits right in. Now I much prefer it over here. Okay, and I click that there. Now I've got that there. Cool. That's how I like that thing to be. Cool. All right. Well, that's a good first step, and I will be back again with the next lesson, and we'll go over some more of the basics. Thanks.